Hello! I can't tell you how hard it has been to wait until this weekend when I could finally get started on this patch MSQ. And depending on how long it takes, I will also unlock the Alliance raid, but that might not be till tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on how long this goes. So, let's get to it. A royal invitation. Old Rook is eager to hear how you've been getting on. It is a pleasure as always, Alessandra. Have you been able to relax lately? Kinda? Wonderful. As busy as you've been with the Rite of Succession among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliyollal at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Spalya Tea is one such way to do so. They are made the traditional way and laden with fillings and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Baruch Evu, will look after you. Time for some big fat tacos already? Okay. Wait, no, I could just walk. Well, if it isn't Alessandra, alone to stay, are you? I was told you had tacos. I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Well, to be fair, bro, I still have, like, a few more to go. But I'm working on it, I promise. Yummy. You still love tacos, I hope. You ate so many when you turned 5, you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? Huh? No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right. Sorry. It's still strange for me, too. Just the other day, you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Yasulani, and now you're a man grown with a full face of hair. With a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Oh. Oh, I get it. Oh. That's sad. Relying. That feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. On you and everyone else. Can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here I'm helpless. A culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me. Gods, I'd never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I'd been told the tales, but it seems life is really different within the dome. My wife and children. I was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever's necessary to make it work. I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliyollal. Oh, thou Woklamat? Hmm? To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Oh, look who it is! I was just about to go and find you, Alessandra. You don't mind the company, I hope? I could use a bite to eat myself. I think it's more than a bite with you. Come on over. The tacos here never disappoint. So, what have you been up to lately? Catching up on sleep. Working to recover some stolen artifacts, making a name for myself. Well, all are true, but I'm gonna stick with this one since it's what I've been focusing on lately, trying to level up my alt jobs so I can do it. I've been reviewing reports from the Lands Guard. Given my responsibilities, I'm not in a position to chase criminals abroad, so I needed someone else to take care of the matter. I'm glad that someone is you. As for myself, I'm kept busy with duties at the palace, but whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way, I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Huh? Kona and I have something we want to discuss with you, as dawn servants. Do you have time to come to the palace? Sure. Great, I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. I have to admit that hearing them talk about reintegrating themselves kind of makes me think of like the snap in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is a da, 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 da. Jog, 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 jog. Seems Kona's gone somewhere. Sorry. Mr. Salisandro, it's always an honor. Well, Kona has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you within before long. Okay. Oh, they're all here. Hello. Oh, you're all here too. Val Kona summoned us. Though truth be told, Alphinaud and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hannish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We were of course happy to oblige him. Kryle and I were likewise summoned. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. But Lest you wonder, Thangred and Urianger have left to resume their tour of Toral. Ishtola, meanwhile, is back to researching crossrift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. I figured. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You're like to be stuck with her for a while. As for Stinian, we know neither where he is nor what he is doing. Some things never change. Thanks for the update. Hola! My apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will be held soon in Solution Line to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Guluja and his administration have invited us to attend. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of the Iya Solani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. Wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria Vault. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen thus be honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Indeed, a funeral would give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Guluja, but to put this chapter behind us. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wished to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. I don't think this is helpful, even if I think it in the back of my mind that's not helpful. So yeah, I think we should go. I think we should go too. Because you consider yourself responsible for her demise, I take it. But that's not a burden you bear alone. Here's my idea. As Val, I'll attend the funeral as a representative of Tuliolal. Meanwhile, you could go in a personal capacity and watch over the people as they mourn. Okay. I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people and to others, so let us stand with you. Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution Line and look for Gulaja in the back room. I would too ideally attend the funeral. Given the circumstances, I think it best that Lametier represent us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When that work is complete, we will finally look into installing new thrones. But to have Father's throne here still, it makes me feel he is close by. I'm quite happy for it to remain for a while. You know, it's big enough. You probably both could sit there. Alrighty. I get the feeling that this is not gonna go smoothly. Doing? Let's use this. Go into this side. Get into the back room. Yep. Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you may have heard, we were able to find data on forgotten funeral customs amidst old records. It appears to have been preserved by those who ruled the loss of culture due to the proliferation of regulators. We're grateful for their foresight. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who will officially take part, though. Others will watch over the proceedings. So how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shale is always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep's systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By way of a treat, I've brought you gâteau au chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Lametier. And thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here, according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Money! Give me the money!
While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the brunt of the planning, while one of their number can better explain what the ceremony will entail. For the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold the funeral, it speaks to their enduring love for Sveen. From a group that plotted to undermine a tyrant king from the shadows, to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open, Oblivion has come a long way. It's a relief to see that Galulja is doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. Not wrong. Although I've been to the back room before, there was no time to see the sights. I should like to take a closer look at the equipment. Papa said he didn't want a somber funeral, so we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I like to think he is watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. Luja wishes to go and collect his flower for the funeral. The flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with, Hassan. He was apparently Sveen's aide and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go.
I have to admit, I was debating either starting the stream a little later or just doing everything tomorrow because I stayed up so late last night. I was freaking freezing cold. And so I think I'm getting like a little sick. But I really wanted to play and stream this. So I ate, I gave myself a few hours to wake up, and I was like, you know what, it's almost 10 o'clock, I think I can go with it. Wuklamot's attendance will surely help strengthen relations between the two nations. I get the strong impression that both Tuliyola and Alexandria wish to put this tragic past behind them. It makes sense that Sveen had loyal aides such as Gaussen, given how much time she dedicated to walking among her people. While it appears the souls are still being issued, supply must be limited now that they're no longer being harvested. The grim faces in the queue tell the tale. Judging from all the activity, I presume the funeral will be held here. Here he is, Gaussen. All correspondence was being handled by the Wing of Reflection, so this is my first time speaking with Gaussen. Why, you're... I'm Val Wuklamot of Tuliyola. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Sveen's funeral. We are honored, truly. I had seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I am Gaussen, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured, they are not a requirement. We're aware your people do not use them. You see, people in the Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such, tokens were black. It was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color.
We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sphene. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flock. I will. The proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have your flock. I don't think having those people on the sides makes sense. They can't see anything.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together. Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit.
You're welcome, Matt.
As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad. I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
seeing that child reminded me of myself. How hard it was for me to accept that grandfather was gone. But that sadness is what gave me the strength to come this far, and I would never choose to forget it. Never. I hope the altar can provide... Sorry. I hope the altar can provide comfort to those who need it. This seems a good place to continue our conversation. Simply leaving Alexandria won't solve all their problems, I fear. The problem runs deeper than that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. It's okay. You're young. It's okay. Hey, Kaluja. Do you really know nothing at all about your mother? Shale searched the system for any information on residents, but the only Mamuja she found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. I think this is a fairer question. You want to know your mother? I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again. And if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that's what you want. Then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. Yep. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. Alright. Thank you, everyone. I can very much relate to his feelings. I pray Galulja finds what he seeks. If no records remain of Galulja's mother, then where do we begin our search? I understand all too well Galulja's desire. For the longest time I found my own father's actions inexplicable. If this is what Galulja wants, then I'll help him however I can. After all, we're family. We might learn more about my father, too? I hadn't thought of that. Assuming neither memories nor records of Galulja's mother remain, we must cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Alessandra, if you could make inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution 9. Okay. Aetherite. Middle-aged Tonawanda. Sorry, but I've never heard of a Mulja woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Zeralja. You might have better luck talking to the people over at a Tanawatan settlement to the north of Everkeep, in a place called Ueyawada. The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, or so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. A Mamulja woman? Well, their people have never been a common sight around here. Why, the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. She was among an entourage of Landsguard that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Tuliolal after their mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. Huh. You're looking for a Mamulja woman? Oh, Kuluja's mother. Can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know a little about Zeralja, and only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, a Tural Vidral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zeralja assembled a party of warriors, and with them confronted and felled the beast. It was interesting to hear of the king's feat in the past. Well, can we talk to him? Is he still around? Haven't done much feats around here, so at some point I should try and get the riding map. Just so that way when I'm on the ground it's a little faster. Oh, we're going over there. Beep 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 boop beep boop. Zeralja rarely made public appearances, so the people had no idea how he spent most of his time. Yet I believe therein lies the key to the answers we seek. Solution 9 is vast indeed. Even with the teleporters, we could cover but a small portion of it. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find out anything useful. None of the people I questioned had heard of a Mamulja woman before. Yamati didn't seem to have much luck. How did you fare? Well, I failed to learn anything directly related to Galuja's mother. I did find information which may shed some light upon Zeralja. Ah, you're back too! I told Shiel all about your search. Galuja has told me all. We've previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we could get somewhere this time. Ah, so you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all our findings and see what conclusions we might draw. So, Zeralja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yusalani, among whom was a female Mamulja. His mission was to rid the region of a Tural Vidral, and I believe it's safe to say that that was the crisis in Yawata he resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the villagers with the recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten trapped in the dome. We also heard stories about the settlement in Yawata. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Saralja made regular visits. He required secrecy. A location home to his most loyal followers would be ideal, and if this Mamulja woman had remained there, they would have had occasion to come in contact. I see. But what could Saralja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Saralja's steps, Raha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep per the king's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was believed to have been under the king's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that was all we could learn. It's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So if we look into transportation records... There it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation, but large deliveries were being made to Yawata, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though. It's likely the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing! Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all of this out! Each piece of a puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins to form. And even should memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. Hi, Cinnamon Roll. So we'll be investigating this secret facility in Yawata then. And this time, I want you to come along, Guluja. Is that a good idea? Yawata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the drift downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. Oh. Get off the keyboard, thank you. Make your way to the drift downs when you're ready. Ilusa will have a hover cargo ready for you. Okie dokie. Out of the town. Autobots transform and roll out. This is a very cool looking mount, but someday I really would like to get the blackjack from a gold saucer. It costs so much though. Weapons developed in secret with the aid of devoted followers. Nothing good will have come of this. This is why I don't know that we should bring the kid! The settlement in the outskirts. That was originally Tanawatan as well, yes? I wonder if Yune Yawata is similar to it. While the researcher we spoke with remembered that he had colleagues, he couldn't recall details about any specific individuals. Not their names, nor what they were like. Someone would have noticed if Saraja traveled from the Driftdowns. I expect he utilized a flying vehicle. We've seen how much has changed for the part of Usalani that's on this side of the dome. I wonder what it's like on the other. So the hover cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been over there before. It's still inside the dome, so I don't expect it'll be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright. Be careful, everyone. That timing. Oh my god, that timing. Alright. Here is good. Let's do it. I'm betting they're gonna do some double pulls. Brace for impact! This really is out of a horror game. Oh, they all have nice portraits. Alright, Pally, show them how it's done. Yeah, I'm ready. You go ahead and do it. I'm ready. Being able to cast Holy so much faster is a godsend. That made me very happy that they did that. Okay, shields up. Let's maybe expand spam. Get out of that. You know what feels funny about it is, like, since the cooldown is like still the same, it's like it feels weird now. Oops. All right. All right.
Let's see what you got, big boy. I'm guessing this is an AoE. Yep. What are you doing over there? Oh, are you gonna knock that over? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Moving over, moving over, moving over. Moving. Phew. Oh, getting out of there. Phew. Oh, jeez. It's hitting the other pillar. Ah. Oops. Are you looking for electrops like truffles there, buddy? Where's the safe place? Where's the safe place? Move. Yeah. Woo! Read. Mouse. We'll have a look at that later. Alright, shields up. Oh no! No! Zombies! Zombie doctors! Oh yay, new ring. Need the gloves. God, I'm gonna have so much high level gear before I have my characters ready to use it. Here, shields up, shields up. We stop it here? Oh. Right, here we go, here we go, here we go. These look scary. I wonder what they were meant to be. Like, I'm pretty sure that Zaraja was trying to clone, but yeah, go ahead and do it. You didn't open it, buddy. Oh God. You surrender your souls. What have you been doing there this whole time, buddy? guess the Paladin used up their cooldowns with the trash bomb. Oh. Oh, this is scary. I didn't even get to really look at what that was circling around us. Ready to shift? Shift! Right. Oh. Thank you. Safe. Ready for another? Go. Oh, get away from me. Stop getting near me. Oh, they took that to the face. There you go. Penny for you. Oh, finish him! Woo! Oh yeah, give me my necklace and ring. I don't have time to switch it right now. I'll do it afterward. Alright, Tanky Spanky. Where's the monk? All right. Disgusting. That answer will probably need it if they haven't been here with it yet. Oh, shield up, bro. Shield up. All right, here we go.
Well, that went back by pretty quickly. Luli Piatti. Okay, you rascally rabbit. Guess I'm the new one here. Alright. What do you got? Get behind you. Oof. Oh. Okay. Okay, got it. Oh, let's go over here. Move. All right, got it. All right. Did it! I did it! What is that? Please get out of the way, please. You might want to get out of the middle. That's a long way down. You gonna this is Sparta? Oh no! Run! Run! Oh my god, that was scary. Oh no! The tank! Oh shit. Oops. Talk about the floor is lava. Alright, well, we've seen most of the mechanics, I guess. Let's get back to where we were. It does! It does have hands! Alright. So we need to pay attention, because he's gonna do that again during the circle. Alright. Get out of the way. Okay. So you're gonna do this again. I'm gonna do this. Just way up the region. And upper on this too. Okay.
Here. Here. Ended this. Whee! Swear, I need to work on fixing my mouse sometime. This is safe? Okay, I wasn't wrong. And at least I don't have to worry about those shenanigans, because that scared me last time. Okay, floor is lava. Well, it's a giant hole, but... Which way it is? Which way? Run! Okay, so I'm guessing it doesn't go past him, so we don't have to go that far. Whew. Sonic Howl? Okay, that's fine. Stop yelling and go down! Come on, Dancer, hit him from afar with me. Run! Monk, what are you doing? Shit, run! Get behind him! Oh my gosh. What a fight. What a fight. Jehoshaphat's would hate that fight so much. Yeah. Good job, Tank. Yay. But it's only 7:05? That's not even better than what I have. What the hell? Why is the dungeon ring only 7:05? Oops. Were they not expecting people to have done the normal raid? Or have tone gear?
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Valley Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zoralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Turol Vidrol.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
Disgusting.
So, you've given him permission?
Teishalja, you will assist Kaniloka. As one of the Lands Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
Both?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliyollal.
A child?
That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours.
Did he know that's what she meant?
That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Man, that's cold. That's cold.
Are you all right?
I'm okay. But I saw a vision.
Teishalja. Could she be my mother?
You look a lot like her.
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubico women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kaniloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishaljar there.
That's where we're going next, then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would let me go back through this, but I do want to look at those report logs in a minute.
Now that the danger is behind us, it started sinking in just how unsettling this place is. Had to believe it used to be a village. That you should be able to peer into the Turul Vidral's past. I wonder what that implies for the beast's consciousness while it was sealed away. It seems this Kanaloka was in charge here. From your recounting, he was quite dedicated to Zeralja.
And his unethical research.
The villagers were likely monitoring the imprisoned Turul Vidral at Zeralja's behest, and at some point they became involved in the research of souls. Teishaljar, you said her name was? I wonder what her story is. I wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamuja women here, for a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliyola and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day, I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well.
Let's go with the quick tongue.
While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around, for information as well as a way to the upper level.
Oh. I guess it'll let me explore some of it? Here, I think the easiest way would be to go out here first. We'll talk to them to go back in a sec. So I know there's a way to go in to explore mode. Here we go. Explorer mode. There we go. So we're just gonna look at the logs. Alright, mama. Let's go. I feel like a lot of the inspiration for this place is from like horror movies and games. Right. The logs are in the actual structure. Here's the first one. While His Majesty is Zeralja, is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body. Safety and ethical concerns have ensured no earnest attempts have been made to date. Yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man.
and so he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. It would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further this ambition, then perhaps it is worth pursuing. Yeah. Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast yields mixed results. Even when stripped of memories, a pharaoh's soul can induce psychological instability in the subject. I suspect this is because primal instincts remain, and while a certain amount of bestial ferocity is expected, and I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutations. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of uncontrolled mutation. There's still people in there. Need to get them out of there. The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We've experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated than with poor Atticus. Atticus! His body was altered irreparably, and he lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of a Tural Vidral, I struggle to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. I'm guessing going the other way around. If the source of our failures thus far has been the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls, what if we were to reverse the process by purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of its own memories? We stand to gain absolute control over a vessel of great power. My subordinate who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limits. I must prepare his soul for extraction at once. Is that Atticus? Or someone else? Oh, was it the guy that people think is connected to Hildebrand? I feel bad, I can't remember his name, but the night guy. Such beautiful music in here. Yeah, there's probably not anything else, but I just wanted to go back to the end. Whee! Wonder if you can walk off. Whee! Alright, let's get out of here and continue. Just undo that so I don't forget. There. Back inside. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave? Or did we already meet them? Does seem like a lot of them died. I think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zoralja so absolute? I kind of wonder if they were misled. It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. Lift can be seen through the gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. Security panel is nearby. Perhaps a verification key will open the way. Oh. Gotta look for a key. Journal lies next to the body. I was transferred to Ue Yawada Station in order to train the villagers in the use of electrope technology. While a child can quickly learn to operate common contraptions, it will be no easy thing for them to attain the requisite skill to develop new weapons, ones which require no less than the manipulation of souls. Thankfully, 2 of my pupils have demonstrated great aptitude in the field. Kanaloka, the village chief, and Tisholja, a field chirurgeon. Further driven by their loyalty to our king, their growth has been remarkable. I dare to hope that before long, they will be able to carry out their duties without further instruction, and I may be relieved of my duty. I don't think this was the kind of relief of duty you wanted if that was your journal, buddy. Nothing over here. We need to let these people out. I wonder what Bekluk would make of this research into transferring souls. She'd think it was unethical. The research is likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. Echo. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. Me too. Me too, Wiclamont. Step on the keyboard, Cole. Off of the keyboard. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write good, yes? I'm good, very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit off hand of feeder. Cannot help it, so strong. Hungry, always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. I must eat, and eater must eat. Wonder what they were placed into. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate.
Alright, let's go! We need to let these people out! You found the key! Great, I'll call the others. Seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valley Armanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Galulja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. There's so much data. I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tishalja. It brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Tishalja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to this storage device I brought. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for both of us. Poor Galulja. I admit the Chiral Vidral gave me a fright at first, but then I remembered who felled the mighty Valley Armanda. I'll not soon forget our visit to that facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. Yeah. It seems safe to say my brother returned to Yue Yawada for the Chiral Vidral. He wanted its power no matter the cost. I'm glad we could find what we sought in that abandoned facility. Kilusa is really good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive it too. And here we are.
The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale.
Yup. Let's go. Get me in the building. Oh. Beep boop, beep boop. Get into the back room. Yes. We found information on Galuja's mother, but never ceased to amaze. The data will be in good hands with Shale. I've been thinking it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found throughout Alexandria. Better late than never, after all. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. Having now spent some time in these harsh environs, I feel I have a better understanding of how much a steadying presence Fiend was to our people. Galuja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. It was Shale who gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we'd probably need it, and we did. Welcome back. Galuja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Allison and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Aye, their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we could do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. We share our friend's concern. It's not surprising that the Alexandrians are having difficulty coping with their grief, but still... I'll stay here with Shale. There's a lot I can learn from just watching her. Decrypting files isn't the hard part. When the number of digits in a password is unknown, that the long nights begin. I met some members of Oblivion on the way back here. They themselves were returning after having paid their respects to Sphene. I suspect the Alexandrians' plight remains Alphino and Alice of the Garleans. Little wonder they feel compelled to assist in any way they can. Alice isn't wrong. The mood out there is grim. Some of the Tirali remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. Journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tiral, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see the Shaktaral Railroad restored to operation so the people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Here at Solar Railroad would make things a slight easier, long before it's back at service. I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises.
But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shalomri Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kona informed. Let us know if there's good news concerning the railroad. We could disseminate it through our network and hopefully put some minds at ease. Okay, so yeah, we'll teleport. Boop, 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 boop. Like this mouse where it works, but sometimes it just gets sticky now. I don't know why. Walika. I filled Kona in. He asked that we continue to support the Alexandrians as best we can. Borrowed resolve. And Alessandro Verdiga to boot. What can I do you for? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Toral that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Scratch the on his way. Hey, look, I got some new digs. You look good, Aaronville. I would not embarrass him by saying this. That is so embarrassing. But I'm gonna voice it. Did our little bum bun finally outgrow his old clothes? Looking good, Ervil. As the guildship has officially approved my transition from cleaner to independent contractor, I was in need of more befitting attire. You're here about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with this replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamity has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty putting her into the station in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations, but now we're back to our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mewahetswan. That is the Ronik. Though the Etzaro that follow them are not too pleased about their Etzo being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But the silent train presents a different danger. The Royal Lake would need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them or they'll panic and be putting off their grazing again. Weren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronik's preferred grazing areas though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Royal Lake's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Mewahetswan for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Etzaro have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Watto. The rest of you can accompany us to Hetzaro encampment if you like.
Some water from all that mouthful.
I realized I never changed the chat cover image. I'll leave it that way for now, but I'll put up a new one tomorrow.
Oh, we'll continue work on the silent locomotive as planned. Just hoping that whatever you come up with won't require a total.
Our prior visit to Hetzaro was also on railroad business. Pray they do not take us for train enthusiasts. To think all of this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow wherever the Aronic lead. As committed as the Hetzaro are to tradition, they aren't amenable to the unfamiliar, or so I'm told. That's Kona vow of reason, is it not? I can scarce believe it. Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp, but what brings you all the way to Mewahetsuan? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Shakturo Railroad.
Oh, I was just thinking something. You notice the lady has purple eyes? Someone else also has purple eyes. I wonder if they are related. You too have noted the Ronik's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Geppetto, has been looking into this matter. Geppetto? Normally, we'd expect the Ronik to keep their favorite grounds nearby for a while yet. And despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Piarionan and Yautanana. Yautanane. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward toward your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hetzaro would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hetzaro descent. My parents traveled with the Ronik as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. Chance encounter with the kind Pella merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. Became a stallkeeper in Tuliolo's markets. That is where the Dawn Servant found and adopted me.
I'd already been in the palace some time when Lamati came to us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I have never heard of the League choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any at sorrow willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps, that I might better make excuses for their actions, never much appealed to me. Kona, show a little tact. We're trying to get these people to cooperate. Even if it might help you better understand the Ornik's current behavior. As is so often the case, you are correct. While my discomfort with the Etzaro way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes, and to refuse to learn of one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Ronik, what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. I would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of the Etzaro culture with me? I should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am, doing it correctly. Kona. Oh, sure. Then it's settled. You're to learn more of the Ronik, and we'll have a look around the plains. And perhaps in the process, we'll find the answers we seek. It will be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn Servants, as we once did with Ulul Jaja. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. Oh, you're looking at the courier of light right here, dude. I am not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here later to share what we've learned. Alright. Time to get some work done. Maybe we'll start with this one over here and go in a loop. Playful Etzaro. Got a little Ornik with you. Is that like a baby one? You're learning about the Etzaro way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrived at them myself. Our Etso provide us with something that we use in medicines, poultices, and soap to drive away pests and to sustain our fires. What is it? The bonds? Both hordes and ooze have cores of bone, and we use all of these materials, albeit primarily in temples, instruments, and the like. It's not quite the answer I was looking for. To remind you, this material is fit for medicines. The meat? Alas, not quite. Meat and organs both can be made in delicious fare, and our neighbors are oft glad to trade for them. They do have certain medicinal uses as well, but they aren't fit for all the purposes mentioned in my question. So you use their dung for soap? Is it dung again? It sounds like there's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered myriad uses for Ronique chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Etso always provide. Dung da dung dung dung. Ah, fine. Troubled at sorrow. Something wrong with the tent? This won't do. The wind will go right through it. Me without my needle and sinew. Hey, I can stitch. I've done leatherworking and weaving. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. Should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the only kind they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. They have such a silly expression. I'm afraid I've finished with my tasks for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronique are our Etso, our guides, how we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we at Sorrow must also part with half of our number. You may think it a strange and stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as a people. This too is the wisdom of the Etso. Is that why Kono got left behind? You're here to help. Well then, why don't I show you how to care for a Ronique's coat? Go ahead and run your fingers through it. Gently now. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would just get lost in the tangle, light as not. Got this brush. Ah, Shepetto sent a Ronique brush with you, did he? I like him. Now, just run it through one little patch at a time. Gently. Brush, brush, brush. You dutifully brush the Ronique until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done! With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries should the need arise. You smell of the grass and the wind. Which is a good thing, I promise. You can nearly be mistaken for one of us. You even look the part. I have to wonder how Valcona is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Of course it is. Oh, there he is now. Somebody made a friend. Apologies for my tardiness. I was taxed with grazing the Ronique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? Like, this is nice, but I do feel like this point was being pushed more. That sorrow life revolves around the Ronique, but in turn the people receive all they need. Yes, I feel the truth of this myself. While I was hesitant to leave my fate to the whims of the Etzel rather than tread man-made paths, I arrived where I was meant to be all the same. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to their own league as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course. And regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Thrall, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Etzel are concerned. Sure, Kona. I'm glad to hear that, Valcona. You're welcome among our herd any time. Buddy. Aww. Hola, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Etzel. They nourish the Etzaru as they grow, and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Although they use them as mounts. Moreover, the Rolique are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must never be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Etzaru would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. So then what do we do? Go over it? Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Rolique's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet.
It's not just the road leak. Even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratopraptors, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Quickly, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Though the Etsaru would have surely put two and two together were the case geological. I measured the area's aether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong aetheric signature to the east. Moving across the plain, albeit slowly. Huh. Yeah, let's ask Kona. I want him to say. What do you think, Kona? You were out there. Given where we are, I believe we are dealing with a powerful beast. A predator, perhaps, given the local fauna's behavior. Maybe another Turalve drow? One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something with very large fangs. It couldn't be a Duretso? Duretso. Urlok River in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Gags that steal Etso in the night is another evocative one. Uli can fell off many predators with their horns, but not the Duretso. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. Pardon me. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home, and it's packed both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronix constellation is clear, as is our next move. We must drive this river away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Never fear. We'll make certain that the beast threatens you no more. I knew it was gonna be a fight. A powerful creature behaving unusually. Left to its devices, it may well become a Turalve drow. We must attend to it ere that happens. Those Ornic beavers must have a hefty set of teeth, but I'm not worried. We've fought worse. Alright, Kona, let's do this. The Ornic River is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations, and if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. That's right. Let's go! What's wrong?
Duretso is coming this way!
Oh, confirmed.
It mass beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
Right.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Okay, Kona. Sorry I've been saying it wrong this whole
Don't worry,
time.
we're right behind you.
Let's go! There's a herd. Eyes and ears.
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Hey, little buddy, it's okay. Cubby. It's okay. There you go.
That herd should be alright. Let's look for stragglers.
Okay.
The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind.
Absolutely. Careful, guys. Careful.
There must be something up ahead. Come!
All right.
There!
Why
These
are
are
they
no match for
attacking
the
me?
likes of us.
Over here. Come over here.
In a panic was clearly an understatement.
Leave them alone.
More are coming!
You're on the wrong button.
You're mine.
God, it's like everyone and their mother is trying to eat this herd right now. I don't know if that'll work, but I'll try. What? Where?
All or nothing then.
Get him, Kona! Yeah, good job.
It seems that did the trick.
Get going, buddies, go!
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
A Reaver. Holy smokes, what is that?
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
There's a straggler, no! A baby!
There! That one there!
Here in the headlights, stop! Oh no!
So fast!
Oh my god!
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the head soul!
Find a weak spot.
Kona! Are you alright?
Just let me heal him.
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronak to safety.
There. You've nothing to fear.
Come on, turn around, go home.
Right! Let's finish the job!
Right.
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
Let's go!
You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
We need something to deal with those.
Buy me some time to think, will you?
Come on.
It must have a weakness, and I will find it.
Like those scales look like they're aether based.
Keep it busy. I need time.
Working on it.
Right! Go for the legs!
Go on. Careful. Knock it over, knock it over.
Now we just have to keep it pinned. You're thinking, Kona!
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow? I've got it!
Where to, buddy?
One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and... you're done for!
There we go.
That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
There's nothing stopping us now!
Let's speak this beast.
Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me!
Sorry, welcome on. Is he gonna reactivate? Oh.
We must disperse that ether ere the river recovers it!
Okay, gotcha.
This is going to hurt.
Finish this! Down you go. Yay!
We did it.
Good job.
The Etso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehwa Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
Good.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
To what end?
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again.
Did it come out this
Still
way?
haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now.
Oh, you were here when the dome came up.
I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Uh-huh.
Lozeni Hetta. That's where the Pelu Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetzo!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast.
His parents were trying to protect him.
Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe.
You think the Bella trader would have known?
So much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone.
Probably feels like a bit of the burden is off him now.
And now that I am done, servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Good for you, Kona. I'm glad you were able to find out what happened with them. If Valkona counts us among his family, then he is part of ours. You've made felling that Etzo look easy. On behalf of the Etzo, I thank you. We certainly got more than we bargained for when we set out to solve our railroad conundrum. I can't imagine how Kona must be feeling right now. That Reaver, you don't suppose it was the same one that... Maybe? To know that the Etzo are safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them we also avenged my parents? It is the least I owe to them after all this time. Alessander, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn servant and as the often perfect man beneath that mantle. Now let us return our attention to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We've removed the root cause of the Rolex strain from their favored grazing and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of aether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than the traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. You've got this. Let us return to Shalani Station and begin work on it then. Walika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. Kind of funny the twists and turns life can take you on. A variety of artisans from across the Rall have come to assist with the railroad, so I see no difficulty in creating the whistle that Kona proposed. This train will be ready in no time. I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacements outside of the city. Wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession. Poor Kona. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. Just needed some aether emitters. So the Rolek were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Valkona's not too bad himself, what with his whistle idea. Sit tight, we'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. Sit tight.
We're ready to go.
She looks as good as new.
Yay!
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
Nice.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Aww.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through her paces.
Right. Oh, does Kona get to ride? Woo woo! Wait, there's a
Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
Oh, okay. They haven't put them yet.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
Beep.
It's moving away.
Nice.
Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
Yay.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
Yay! Back in question. Now anyone will be able to come and go from the Dovesi, please. I can't wait to spread the word in Alexandria. I expect that with the river gone, the Ronek will gradually return to the old habits, and we won't see so many approaching the tracks. It is good to see that the whistle will be effective in the meantime, however. With that, I believe our work here is done. The fine people of Shaktaral Radiant can take it from here. The folks that Valkona brought in to help rebuild the railroad have already returned home, but I hope we can give them a ride someday. Yeah, I was used to his version of the first that has the Russian accent. For a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. Now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shalona and then the continent. Watch out, Sharkterel, here we come. I share the sentiment, but we've got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamatier? Bye! Bye, Kona. Won't be as I once envisioned, but perhaps someday we can take that train journey to Yasulani together. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread the word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale, what do you have her working on? Oh, we didn't tell him? Uluja's mother. I'd feel the same in his shoes. I've felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's been no cause to look at me like that. Akira we met may only have been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. We can search for what she left behind, because she left it with me. I will carry it always. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that the teeny tiny Kakiwa? What? No! It is merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Me too. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time. See if there's aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. I wonder if this quest is gonna end here or in Toriello. Yes. Looks like we arrived at a good time. So Zoraja was conducting secret research in Ueyawada. I have some memories of the place from my childhood. You must be exhausted. Shall I limp out for an energy tonic? It's okay, Krell, I'm good. Everyone's wearing his Kakuya. That makes me happy. Glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Galuja here waiting any longer than necessary.
A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share our findings with us imminently. Ishtola! I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Ishtola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in the Sky Deep Synod for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on electrope. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I could join you once we finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny.
Don't worry, I'm hanging on to it.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Teishulja herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
I don't know if this is a good idea.
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
My name is Teishulja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially I was a Chirurgeon with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal.
Why?
I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran, and in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else. beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today, it should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough.
No. Weren't gonna get him that way.
So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That's all of them.
I don't think we should have let him listen to that.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the Drift Downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now.
Why not?
But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
Maybe a little bit of peace of mind, even if it's bittersweet. You're not alone. Yes, that's the right thing to do. No matter how brave a face Kuluja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with this. He is a strong one, though. You needn't worry too much. I leave such a record, you ask? Cannot be certain, but I believe Tishoja simply wanted someone to know how she felt. Understand? Yes. Tishoja left written records as well. I'll compile them for Galuja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. If the dome had not appeared, Tishoja's tale would have been very different. But whether or not she would have been happier, I cannot say. You may find it hard to believe, but until the Rite of Succession, Zoraja was a good brother to me. Always. I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. Don't want to think the time we spent together as a family was a lie. But by the same token, bitterness my brother harbored was all too real. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. And I don't regret it. I have Lemichi and Kona, and you, Alessandra. I'm not lonely now. That's absolutely right. You have all of us now. It's better to know. A profound response for one so young. I wish he didn't have to be. Galuja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. It's fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Galuja. You remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I'm ready to head to Living Memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we will need to shop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain overlong. I know we all have much more to attend to. For now, farewell. Bye, Stola. A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. Expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet their actions been the polar opposite. Yet few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliola were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying him. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Node 9. Late Node 9. I don't know if that was capitalized or not. Beep boop. There may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Let's go find out.
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
What?
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zaraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function.
There's no more souls.
I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
What?
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
What did you do?
You there, Gusson. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
All of us shall be made endless.
No!
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like.
There's no way!
Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not?
What are you scheming?
And there are still more we have yet to distribute. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
What's going on?
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
Right. This is some bullshit! Sphene was erased. If she's back, then on the Endless. Oh, Arabelle. It's not to report yet, but we have all eyes and ears out and never keep an heritage found. You saw Sphene with your own eyes then, so it wasn't someone else. We've heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. Rumors spread through the district like wildfire. Without the Meso Terminer, how does she propose to create new Endless? Must contact Ishtola as soon as possible. Sphene has returned? How? Seriously, what was that? Wondering too. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Meso terminal shut down. Out a single Alexandra to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, there's no surprise that he would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor. It's as if their memories have been erased. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators. But by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason. In that guise, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is.
While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Oh. Determination.
Oh, where am I? My people, are they safe?
How?
Why am I?
In fear of death, the people turn. Queen reborn, their fates to learn. Pity Stula was not present for Sven's return. A cursory glance at the imposter's aether would have doubtless been enough to confirm our suspicions beyond a doubt. Shale said she left this machine running to process more of the data from the field station. Is it done yet? Probably not for another 3 months, Cubby. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it! We have too little information to draw any useful conclusions as yet. I dare say the Queen of Reason's behavior henceforth will be illuminating. Oh, got a lot to think about. That was good, but now I'm gonna be like wondering what the heck's gonna happen for the next few months. Like I wondered, cause I know at the end of the main of 7.0, they showed the tiara. Sven's tiara was still pulsing, but how did this happen? Is someone controlling her? What is going on? Like, I know they had talked before about how there was like a group that was coordinating the creation of her in the first place, and it was never really clear whether that group was still a presence here. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe that's the case. But dang, dude. Well, anyway, I'm tired and very hungry, so I will stop here for today. And tomorrow we will focus on the Alliance raids. Oh, I have been itching to do that all week. I've seen a little, like, snippet here and there. I haven't watched anyone play it, but sometimes I'll see, like, a 1-second moment on someone else's stream.
So I'm really excited to see how that goes. I've never played 11 before, so it'll be interesting to see stuff from that game. And it also seems like Bakul Jaja has a very strong place connected to that story. He's involved with it, so I'm curious to see how that happened. Well, anyway, let's see the state of things. Yep. Okay. Alright. So, I'm gonna end it here then. For those who joined me on this adventure today, thank you for watching me. If you haven't already, please be sure to give my channel a follow, as it does help me with my goals here on Twitch. For those watching in the future, thank you for checking out my VODs. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can find out where more VODs are available and when I post some new songs on my main channel. Well, that's all for now. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye!